Hey, welcome everyone to the Wells Tech Garage for this week's episode of CounterPoint. Thanks for being here. I'm Mike from the Wells Tech team.
And I'm Jeremy from the catalog department. And what we're going to talk today about is a blower motor resistor.
Okay.
Fits roughly 2003 to 2009 General Motors vehicles with automatic temperature control.
Sure. And this thing's a JA1639.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And really we're calling it a resistor, but it's not really a resistor, right?
Right. It's automatic temperature control, so it's basically a module.
Okay.
But to keep things consistent, you know, our catalog, everything else, we will call it a blower motor resistor.
Sure. But sometimes, just so you guys know, in service information or factory manuals and that kind of thing, it could be called a blower motor controller, blower motor control module, anything like that. Being automatic temperature control, it's got to be electronic in order to change the speed of the blower motor. With auto temp control, you can range anywhere from 0% to say 13 to maybe, I don't know, 56% or something, where a manual temperature control resistor would have only, you know, a set amount of speeds, maybe 4 different speeds, 5 different speeds, something like that.
Right. One of the reasons we're going to talk about this, actually a couple of reasons. First, there's been a design change,
Okay.
so it's going to look different than the one, chances are, unless you've already replaced it, it's going to look different than the one you've taken out. If you look at it here, you've got 5 terminals there,
Okay,
right?
yep,
Okay.
on the connector.
And then it also comes with a new connector. So the original one, if you look at it, it's going to have 3 terminals,
Okay.
and then it's going to have, it'll look like this guy right here, but it'll be coming, you know, fixed into the corner of the old resistor.
So it's actually built in.
Exactly.
Okay.
This one basically incorporates it all in one connector.
Sure.
So once you plug it in, you see here you've got your 2 wires here, and these would be your 3 wires, which you do have to hardwire.
Okay. So when we take this thing out of the box, this piece or this end of the connector here would actually be going into the blower motor itself.
Right.
This is what's going to be powering and grounding the blower motor through our blower module, our blower motor control module. And then these 3 wires are what's going to go into the vehicle's harness.
Right, and then, yeah, basically it'll come with instructions in regards to how to wire that up as well.
Okay.
There you see an instruction sheet there that tells you basically what you need to do with this little hardware packet. There's a couple of screws and a spacer washer in here that you need to use on this side over here. And then this kind of a generic sheet that goes with all of our blower resistors, basically talking about some, you know, little facts of other stuff that you want to check out before you go ahead and just replace this, because you may have something else going on in there as well.
Sure, and that's something that we've talked about in previous classes for our training is blower motor diagnosis and resistor diagnosis. GM had actually run into similar things with this. So we're talking about like cabin filters and stuff being restricted. We've talked about blower motor bearings themselves becoming restricted and creating high resistance in the blower motor, creating the failing of the control module, because it's got to work harder then.
Right.
If there's more resistance, it's got to work harder. But GM also had a problem with low temperature. So there's a TSB out there referring to replacement of the control module and the connector for a low temperature issue where under -10 degrees Fahrenheit, the blower motor itself might actually continue running after you shut the vehicle off.
Right, and knowing that they had issues, they, you know, this isn't a design change that we just took it upon ourselves to make it harder on everybody to change it. We actually followed suit with what General Motors did. So it is something that they actually changed on their end, and we, being OE form, fit, and function, followed suit with them.
Right.
So,
and they were actually running into issues with the connectors melting too. That's why this is coming with a complete redesigned connector, trying to get things to not fail as often.
right, right.
Okay. All right. I think that's about it. So we got our instruction sheets. This isn't packing material. I mean, this is...
Yeah, this isn't one of these where you want to just crumple it up, throw it away. You actually want to read it. So, because it is, you know, you do want to figure out how that is supposed to be wired up properly.
Exactly.
So, and as always, if you go to our website, the instructions will be on there as well at www.wellsve.com.
Okay.
And then also, if you ever need to give us a call at 1-800-558-9770.
Right.
And then prompt 1 gets you into tech, and prompt 2 will get you into cataloging if you have any questions in regards to that. So.
Yep, and that's, I mean, this wiring of this right here is one of the most common things we get on this.
Yeah,
how do I wire this?
It's one of those people they get the resistor, they look at it, they don't look at the instruction sheets, they see that it has 5 and their old one has 3, and it, you know, once you talk them through it, it's actually a pretty simple, pretty simple deal. So.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got to talk about today with this.
All right. Once again, my name is Jeremy.
And I'm Mike, and we'll see you guys again next time for CounterPoint.